Hello guys, Chuck here, and welcome back to the Odigan Voltiverse. Exactly what that is, you'll find out at a later date. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Markerless AR. The second main way of the three main ways augmented reality is deployed into the real world, and the second way of the three that we're going to be talking about in this three-part series. If you didn't watch the first one, we talked about marker-based AR. If you haven't watched it, make sure to watch it. I'll leave a link in the description below. Now, let's figure out what this markerless AR thing is. Let's jump into it. Now, very briefly before we jump into the meat of the video, we're going to briefly recap what a marker is. Now, essentially, markers function on the premise of object or facial recognition. They recognize an object or features on your face or features on an object, and upon that recognition, they'll display some kind of animation or video or 3D model over that marker. And they can only display that animation, that content on that marker. If the marker leaves the field of view of the device, then the marker ceases to exist. Also, markers have to be drastically different from each other. In order for a marker to display unique content, the marker itself has to be unique. Now that you have an understanding of what marker-based AR is, what markerless AR is pretty intuitive. What markerless AR is essentially what marker-based AR is, just without the marker. It frees you from the limitation of needing a marker to display the content or animation that you want to display. And it does this through something called SLAM. SLAM stands for Simultaneous Localization and Mapping. And it works like this. You see, with SLAM, devices and AR applications are able to locate objects within an environment and place them in relation to other objects around them and the overall surrounding itself. While it's doing this, it's simultaneously building a map of the overall environment with the aid of feature points and other features within that environment. With the information that SLAM provides to AR applications and AR devices, these applications and devices are now able to better recognize 3D objects and the overall scene that these 3D objects are in. Now, this now allows the AR applications and the AR devices to place virtual objects into these scenes with the correct depth, accurately and precisely. This in turn creates a rather immersive experience, or at least as immersive as you can get with today's technology. But the point is, you can get a pretty immersive experience that resembles a marker-based experience, all the while not requiring a marker. The main benefit here is freedom. You don't need a marker in order to deploy the content you want to display. So what are some of the benefits of markerless AR? Now, as I was previously discussing, one of the main benefits of markerless AR is that unlike marker-based AR, you don't need a marker in order to display the content that you want to display. As long as your end user has an AR-capable device, the content is going to be displayed. It's as simple as that. So creators no longer have to worry about simultaneously creating the content and creating a marker for the end user to use in order to deploy that content. They can just focus now on just creating great AR content, confident in the fact that as long as their end users have an AR capable device, they are going to witness and experience that content that they want to experience. Another benefit of markerless AR is that unlike marker-based AR, even if you leave the field of view of the content is still going to be there. This once again just gives the creators more freedom, so they don't have to worry about creating content that can only be displayed as long as the marker is in view. Instead, they can create content that takes advantage of the fact that it doesn't have to be in view all the time. For example, Niantic, the creators behind Pokemon Go, are working on versions of Pokemon Go that allow for the Pokemon to, instead of just floating in free space, actually be able to go around and behind objects in the space, something not possible with marker-based AR. One of the more cooler benefits of Markerless AR, at least to me, is the kinds of multiplayer experiences you're now about to be able to have in them. You know, with the advent of 5G, people are now going to be able to have lag-free, seamless multiplayer experiences where they can play games or engage in all kinds of different social interactions with each other. It's gonna be crazy. Another really cool benefit of Markerless AR is the creation of portals. These portals literally allow you to step into a different world. So like imagine stepping into a portal that'll take you to the peak of Mount Everest or to the depths of the Marianas Trench. It's gonna be crazy. And it's something that's possible now thanks to Markerless AR. All technologies, though, do have their drawbacks. Markerless AR isn't an exception. One of the main drawbacks of Markerless AR is that in order to activate the experience, you have to scan the environment so that the content can be deployed. This is the SLAM stuff that we were talking about earlier on in the video. In order for the content to be displayed, you have to scan the environment so that the content gets an understanding of where it needs to be placed. What doesn't work though are one color flat, surfaces that don't really have any distinguishable features on them. Luckily, things like that aren't really present in the world, so you really shouldn't have an issue with that. But in the cases that you do find them, you can't really create a markerless experience in these situations. Another issue is that in order for the SLAM technology to really gain an understanding of the environment that it's in, the features that it's scanning needs to have things like lines and spots and textures. The more the better. If it has those things, then it really will be able to create the environment that it needs to. Probably the biggest drawback of Markerless AR is simply the lack of devices currently capable of using Markerless AR. And the Apple ecosystem, iPhone 6s and up running iOS 11 and up are capable of using Markerless AR. And in the Android ecosystem, Samsung Galaxy S8 and newer devices running Android 4.4 and up are capable of running Markerless AR. The problem is that these devices represent a small subset of the current devices in the market, meaning that creators of Markerless AR technology and games and experiences are going to have a vastly smaller audience capable of actually experiencing those experiences. And if you aren't one of those people who own one of those devices, then once again, you're not going to be able to experience these Markerless AR experiences. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section below what your favorite thing is about Markerless AR. Where do you think it's going to go in the future? I'd love to know what you guys think. That's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Chuck, jumping out.